Naoya INOUE versus Luis NERY. Here's my post-fight breakdown. I didn't have the chance to watch the fight live, but it is now posted on YouTube, and great entertaining fight. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. So you've already heard that Naoya INOUE got dropped the first time in the first round, and then came back to drop NERY in the second, fifth, and then to end it in the sixth. But let's take a little deeper look at what went down. So before the fight, I did suspect that Naoya INOUE would knock out NERY, and I made a comment about that. But the reason why is because INOUE's power punches are much more linear. He throws them straighter and to the center line, and whereas NERY throws his power punches a little rounder. And one key fault I would say that NERY has is that when he throws his left hand, he's a southpaw, so his left hand is his power punch, but he kind of arcs it a little too much and tends to miss with it a little too frequently for somebody at a world-class level. So that's really why I thought that Naoya INOUE would wind up knocking him out, which he did. So let's look at what happened. So initially, it's a orthodox southpaw matchup, so we have the sort of battle of the jabs, so to speak, right? Because both people's lead hands are going to interfere with each other. Left jab for INOUE and right jab for NERY. And really, in the first round, he could kind of see what was going to be NERY's downfall in the long run, because he wasn't using his jab with bad intentions. It was almost like he was using his jab just to create a distraction, just to kind of, he was like pawing down, or just trying to tap Naoya's like forearm on Naoya's lead hand. And you can do that a little bit, but I mean, my boxing trainer Lennox Blackmore would not be thrilled with that. It's like, if you're gonna throw the jab, throw a bloody jab. Try to hit somebody with it. And then the second thing that I think NERY showed us in the first round that was going to lead to his downfall, so to speak, was that he would come straight forward, almost, I wouldn't say leaping, but really, say very enthusiastically coming straight forward, which can lead one to be open to a counterpunch. So first round, as they're feeling their way out, they get into sort of more close quarters. INOUE throws a right uppercut, which does land flush, but he threw a left uppercut, which landed flush under NERY's chin, but he didn't keep his right hand up. So NERY countered him with a very short left hook, which is, for NERY, it's his reverse punch left hook. Very short, clipped INOUE right on the chin, and INOUE spun around 180, kind of landed on his front, and then scrambled to like half kneeling position pretty quickly. Now you could tell he was lucid, and he's like looking at the ref right in the eye. He stayed in the half kneeling position to kind of use up the count. You're given a 10 count, so you might as well stay there and rest for a couple seconds before he rose and continued with the rest of the round. So I think it was pretty clear he wasn't too badly hurt, because he rallied for the rest of that first round. Second round, it's more of the sort of battle of the jabs at a little bit of a distance, and NERY's throwing a lot of kind of up jabs and pawing jabs, so he's either pawing down or kind of flicking his jab up, again not effectively, and at this point INOUE is starting to land his jab right hand a little more effectively, and yeah, those straight rights from INOUE are starting to land right on NERY's chin. So again, NERY likes to kind of charge straight forward in that straight line once he gets going and gets the momentum. So as he's doing just that to drive INOUE back towards the ropes, he misses with his left, and NERY just counters with his own left hook and drops NERY with INOUE's back towards the ropes. So that was round two. Round 3, Inoue, I think, starts to feel a little more comfortable, and he starts to level change more, going to the body and the head, or head and body. And he also starts getting really adept at cutting angles and spinning out, throwing punches, and then immediately changing the angle. Whereas Neri's still trying to pursue him on a straight line to hunt him down. But at this point, it's sort of obvious that Inoue's straight right is landing, as well as other punches. He's changing things up. He's landing left hook to the head, throwing that left hook to the body. That liver shot's a lot harder to land on a southpaw than it is on a righty, just simply because they can just drop their lead elbow down and block the liver shot on the left side. 4th round, Inoue is so comfortable that he starts to showboat a little bit and kind of semi-taunt Neri, kind of playing to the crowd a little bit. And it does start to get a little scrappier. I think Neri figures, okay, I've got a level change. I've got to try to get inside, and so there's a little more of Neri kind of trying to crouch down and get in. Results in a little bit of shoving, pushing, and almost headbutting that the referee warns both fighters about. And in this round, we start to see how sort of masterful Inoue is with his body movement and his footwork to just control the ring and get to the angles he wants to get to, and not allow Neri to fight on that straight line trajectory that he likes. And in a sense, Inoue is smart enough to take advantage of what he knows that Neri wants to do, and as Neri's sort of driving him back, again in a straight line towards the ropes, Inoue allows him to come in. Inoue's back is right on the ropes, and as Neri's throwing a combination, he misses again with the punch, and Inoue just clips him with a very short left hook to the chin and drops him straight down. So that was kind of a bad drop, and I think Neri was hurt from that more than it looked like, because he did rally. To his credit, he did rally for the remainder of the round. But then 6th round, I think Inoue came out knowing that he could finish Neri. So he actually just kind of, at one point, just kind of like puts the double guard up and says, hey, go ahead, punch me, type thing. And Neri obliges and unloads his combinations, but then Inoue was just waiting for that, comes straight back with his combos. He drives Neri back to the ropes and drops him this time with a straight right. And it was a really bad, this one was a really bad drop for Neri, because if that bottom rope hadn't been there, Neri's head would have whacked right onto the ring canvas, just on the area, right, he fell right into the ropes with his head. That was bad, and the ref waved it off right away. Now, didn't seem to be any protest from Neri or Neri's camp, unless they just didn't bother to capture that on camera, but I think it was definitely a valid stoppage. So Inoue just showed us his mastery, not just with his boxing skills, but in just how to control the fight and the arc of the fight overall, even though he did get dropped in the first, which again wasn't a damaging shot for him that he took, but I think it in fact kind of woke him up and said, oh yeah, maybe I need to keep my right hand glued to my chin against this guy. So overall, I mean, terrific fight. It's amazing that Naoya Inoue can fill a 55,000 person Tokyo Dome. That's why I made it short, saying, hey, I don't think Inoue needs to fight a U.S. fighter in the U.S. He's already a superstar in Japan, and he can call the shots, right? He's undefeated, undisputed at 122. He can call the shots and say, hey, you guys need to come see me in my backyard. Both parties will make more money, arguably, if he fights in Japan than if he tries to come over here. And when somebody's undisputed like that, it's kind of understood. They get to kind of call the shots of where they want to fight. So who would you like to see Naoya Inoue fight next? I don't think it's Tank Davis. What do you think's up next for Luis NERY? What did you think of the fight? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.